One of the commissioners for IEBC, Nderitu, is our guest for the next 1 hour. Today, the IEBC, like we said, relaunching the continuous voter registration exercise. And she's here to explain that to us and also to explain to us how the IEBC is handling the forthcoming by-elections, plus very many other things. Commissioner, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good to have you.
And also, I'm happy to be here this morning.
Yes.
Yeah, for this show.
It's a lot to unpack in a very short time. We'll get straight into it, but first, Janet is going to give you the day's quote. Let's see whether the words that were said by the person she tells us make any sense to us today.
Sure. Yeah, this was said by Ellen Johnson Sirleaf in 2006. She said, "Power without accountability is tyranny, even if it is elected." Reflect on that for us.
Sure, I totally agree that power must have accountability. It's one thing to have power. How you use it when you have it, you need to be accountable, even to the people who elected you. And even if it's given by appointment, you are accountable to the people and the people you are supposed to serve. Yeah, because power in itself should not be an end, but service should be.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Before we even get into the conversation, as an IEBC commissioner, what does accountability mean for you?
Accountability means that you work within the confines of the law, and that whenever you make a decision or take an action, it must be reflected within the legal framework, and also must show that you value the people you serve, because any public institution is made to exist because it has to give a certain service. Yes. That service then should also be accessible. So accountability also means access to the service that any institution, including IEBC, is giving, so that any person who really want to get the service of why the institution was created is able to get it with respect and honor, knowing that he's the reason why the institution was created. That's what accountability means.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of people, let me just start with the basics, may not remember. They know they voted last time. They just want to confirm if they're a registered voter. How do they check?
We have an online service where we Kenyans check whether they are registered or not in terms of the data. There's a code. Kindly give me a second. I'll get the code. Okay. Then you just check. The data comes live into the system. Then you are able to check whether you are registered or not. That's the first instance. The second instance is that you are able to visit all the IEBC offices all over the country, and you can also check your service. Yeah.
I like that.
What are some of the targets and expectations ahead of this specific voter registration exercise that's been rolled out today?
The first thing is to know that we are launching, we are relaunching voter registration, continuous voter registration today. We have a function in Mashuru, Kajiado this morning, where we are relaunching, just to make public awareness of that voter registration is a continuous process. The first bit of this voter registration is just to tell Kenyans there was a gap, and maybe you're asking the question, why the gap? The gap was created by the exit of commissioners, and then they took us some time before the new commission was recruited. That gap created that the policy makers were not there, and for that reason, it was not possible then to continue with voter registration without really the policy decision being made. Let's continue after the general election, because as you know, the voter register closes for general election after it has been certified. It closes now to conduct the general election. And after that, should there be any by-election, it's supposed to have been opened. But then the commissioners were not there. So that's the gap that has been there. So what we are doing, we are coming to relaunch and tell Kenyans, you can now go to the constituency electoral offices, our constituency offices, and register as a voter. So that's the reason of continuous voter registration.
What's the difference between this one and the other big voter registration that you conduct just before the election? Like in 2022, there was the IEBC conducted big voter registration exercise?
There's what we call enhanced voter registration. Enhanced mean that you now move to the ward level. You move from the constituency, you go to the polling station level, to the ward level. What that means is that you now have more kits that goes direct to the police station, and you employ more clerks, and the clerks move around doing civic engagement and registering voters machinally. That's now different from this continuous where it is actually based in the office. And I want to say that we are going to do the enhanced soon or later, but we must first of all deal with the by-election. And it's periodic. It's not that we are doing only this time. Probably next year, funds allowing, we can still do another enhanced so that we continue bringing more voters on board as much as possible. So this means you move to the ground where the people are, and you take more kids and arrange even movement from one place to another. You actually help your staff to move and register. What is different in this voter registration is that we have a new system also. Before the 2022 general election, the equipment for registration was what we used to call the BVR kit. Yes. The BVR kit was a bulky system that had a laptop and something that accompanied a whole system, and it was a bit cumbersome. Right now, we only have a tablet. The tablet is what we are using to register you as a voter. We have also enhanced the features of that tablet. The registration system now, it's able not only to capture your fingerprints, but also your iris. And it's able to capture more features, it's more faster. It is able to process you as more faster than the other one. So we have also improved the registration system.
Okay.
And we expect that in due course, we are preparing pre-registration system. It is not yet ready, but we shall be launching it once we are done. And pre-registration means you register at the comfort of where you are, even your studio or in your table room. Then you only come to the IEBC offices to just capture your biometric. A mail of what the DCI does. You capture, you get your pre-registration form, then you just go with the QR code just to capture your biometrics at the registration center. Yeah, so that is another thing. And the reason for doing that is also to capture as many young people as possible, because young people are tech savvy and they want quick fix. They want something that actually can be done faster instead of just queuing, waiting to be registered. But that is work in progress. Once we are done, we shall still come here and relaunch it again. But it's coming soon.
I like that idea of registering on your own. I'm wondering if we are ready. But then I'm also thinking through, maybe Njano and Eric, I'll get your experiences with voter registration, how it's evolved over time, and we keep on getting better and better at it. I don't know if there was a BVR kit. I'm trying to remember. Okay, there was a laptop.
Well, if you registered previously, then you use the BVR kit.
Use BVR kit.
Yes.
All through, like,
it's a
when you say previously,
biometric voter registration kit.
How
Before
far back?
2022 election.
Okay.
Did you vote in 2022?
Yes, I did.
And you had registered between 2017 and 2022.
Yes.
Then you use the BVR.
You use the BVR kit. Indeed, you are going to see it soon. I can see one of my assistants is coming in.
Yes.
Just to demonstrate where we have come from and where we are in terms of our registration, so that we tell you, IEBC has continually been improving on technology to make it more easier for Kenyans and also to really protect data. Progressive, yeah.
Before the BVR was also, there's a time when voter registration was you go and register as a voter and you're given a voter's card, right? Yeah. So you had to have a voter's card like an ID. That now you're using that to go and present to the electoral officials. When you went biometric, then you did not have to have the voter's card. In fact, when you're going to register, you'd just be given, they'd write for you on a piece of paper.
Which we just call it acknowledgement.
An acknowledgement form. just for you to know that you are registered here. This is your ward. This is your polling center. So that you remember your polling center.
And
you don't have to carry it, the acknowledgement.
On that day now, you just go with your ID, and that happens. So there's
there has been growth.
There's the growth and the changes that have been taking place in this whole exercise. This is what it encompasses. I'd be keen to know whether at any point we actually have got to synchronize the Maisha card and voter registration, so that it's automatic. Once I turn 18, all I need to do is go onto eCitizen and select my my ward, my polling station, and I don't have to register with the IEBC to be a voter, because I'm a Kenyan citizen.
Right.
I have a right to vote. All I need to do is to tell the IEBC where I'd like to vote. So the IEBC can prepare for me to go to.
It should be made that accessible. Literally.
I think that is a good suggestion, and it has always been. One of the issues as a country probably we need to deal with is personal identification, because we have so many unique identifiers for a person. You start right from your school
birth
certificate,
ID.
You come to ID.
Wait, no, for learners now, NEMIS.
For
learners now, they have the NEMIS number. Then ID.
ID. You come to your passport. Of course, if you own a passport.
Your driving license.
Your driving license. All that. Your KRA PIN. I think one of the issues.
Your NHIF. Sorry, no. SHA number.
SHA number. NSSF.
Number.
You see, those are so many identifiers for one individual. I think the first thing that we must do as a country is consolidate the issue of identifier. So once we have a single identifier, it's now possible to say, to do what Latif is alluding to, because now one person, you are born, you are given this number, it is only deleted when you die, and it becomes your number all through. I think when we start there, then we shall be able to bring all this together. And I'm thinking Maisha card is what is attempting to do.
That's the idea.
That's the idea. But then it is not uniform as we speak now, because now we are progressing, getting there. So once we are all Maisha carded,
then it should be.
Then it should be easy to actually propose that. One, it will cut cost on issue of registration, and it will be able then to have only one identifier, this person, and all the data can be consolidated. But as we speak now, that can only be said to be work in progress.
It's something that we aspire to.
We aspire to as a country, to going towards that.
We shall do a demo, maybe even after the break, on what the old kit was doing and what the new kit is doing, and taking us through that. Before then, 6.3 million is the target. Now, I know that you just got into the commission and you have not spruced up the register, but when you say 6.3 million, what's that based on?
One, there are two ways of looking at projections or targets in voter registration. One way is to look at census data. You know, census data always give you, or even NRB data, the registration, National Registration Bureau, they produce data periodically of who is turning 18 years and who is an adult and all that. And then that is what we call voter based on census data. You are projecting based on census data. But then there's the eligible voters. Eligible voters narrows to who has an ID or who has applied for one. So that this now is based on data in the National Registration Bureau. And that is what we are using currently. The 6.3 is data from National Registration Bureau that says these are the Kenyans who
have turned 18.
Who have turned 18, and they have approached us to register as nationals first.
To get IDs.
To get IDs. So once they register as citizen, then that is the data we are using to project. But if you look at the bigger data of Kenyans who have of age of majority, they are turning 18 by today, or all that, the data may speak more. So, but we want to be more subtle by looking at eligibility. Because as you say data, then you cannot say, even if they are 15 million, for example, they may not translate to eligibility, because part of the eligibility is having a national ID card.
Okay.
So our data right now is based on that. That does not mean we cannot surpass that particular target,
Yes.
because as many Kenyans get ID, this data is supposed to rise. So once they get ID, we expect that we shall move from 6.3 and going forward. And that's why we are working closely, and we shall call upon the National Registration Bureau to continue issuing IDs to deserving Kenyans, to young Kenyans who are turning 18, so that we are able to register them. So we expect that as many IDs are given, we are going to surpass this target.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking through for a lot of young people to go to the constituency IEBC office. It might be a bit tricky because they don't know where it is.
Yeah.
That's how do we get this information out there? Because to reach this target and indeed surpass it, they need to know.
Yeah.
And then in cases where the nearest IEBC office might be quite a distance, as in some of our ASL areas or larger counties, what's the fix there to get young people and people of all ages registered?
Yeah, one thing we acknowledge that challenge, especially in this first phase of continuous voter registration, because we are not going to the grassroots.
To the polling station.
To the polling station. But later, we shall go to the polling station. But one of the issues that we encourage young Kenyans is just to really try and find the nearest. One thing that we have done.
How do they find the nearest?
One thing that we have done is to open one of the kits at the constituency office. We have 2 kits. One kit is registering Kenyans from all over the country. So we are making it accessible to any Kenyan. So if you are not, for example, you are in Nairobi, and you want to register, your vote is in Kisumu East, you can still register here in Nairobi, and it will reflect in Kisumu East, so you don't have to travel to your constituency.
Right.
That is one of the ways. The other way is that we shall also be opening Huduma centers. In 1 week also, we shall have finished the recruitment of the Huduma center clerks, and then we shall post them to the Huduma centers. So another way is to enter any Huduma center in Kenya, and you shall be registered to be reflected any polling station in Kenya.
Yeah.
So that means even if you are traveling, you came from Mashinani, you are going somewhere as a young person, just enter the nearest Huduma center. Just also enter the nearest office of IBC at the constituency level, and you shall be registered. So it means we are trying to open up and get access to the people. However, later we shall now go to the polling station, where we now have the kids roaming around the polling station, getting to the people where they actually are, to make sure that we are getting as many people as possible. But for now, the opening of the kids is very important. Later we shall even go to universities, to colleges, to wherever the young people are, and really invite them to come and register. So the first thing is to really also, in your convenience, as you go along around your business, you see an IBC office, it doesn't matter which one. You can just enter, and because there's a kit that can register countrywide, then you are able to be registered. I think that is one of the ways that we have made it easier and possible for young Kenyans to register.
This wasn't previously possible.
It was not possible.
I think you should shout that. Because it used to think that if you're registering, you have to go home. You know how Kenyans love to, lazima niende home.
And Huduma, you said a week from now.
Yeah, a week from now. The Huduma Center.
Is it phased? It'll be open, the Huduma centers will be. Is that going to be it? Because some people might argue we can procrastinate. What is the phasing? If it's open in a week for voter registration, will it stay open subsequently? At some point, will it not be
of
open
course,
for?
there's always the cost constraint. Sometimes budgets may not allow to open forever.
Yeah.
But we are just going to contract Huduma Center clerks for the first 3 months, renewable upon getting enough resources to continue.
Okay.
But we want to really make it a daily thing that a Kenyan going to Huduma Center looking for other services can actually look for registration services there. But the best thing is for Kenyans to take advantage of the time that it is open. As soon as we have open voter registration, that's Kenyans register. Goje up to the last minute, and then we start running around saying IEBC has closed, has done IEBC. Yeah,
you know that will happen.
Yeah.
But let's come back and continue after. We know that will happen. 4 months in, it will be like, but now it's closed. We know.
But it is something to look into. Perhaps having a continuous
I think
IEBC
so.
presence at Huduma
I think
centers.
so. I think so.
Going forward.
Yes,
like
let's
have it as part of the budget.
let's come back and talk. Sorry, and we're just going into a break. But that's a good suggestion. Let's come back and see what those possibilities are. Nderitu is a commissioner with IEBC talking about voter registration. We'll also touch on by-elections 2027 and a demonstration of what was then and what is now in terms of voter registration. It's coming up to 7:30. We'll be back after this break.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Simple as that. Nderitu, Commissioner with the IEBC, is here. Today, the IEBC is reopening the continuous voter registration exercise, which you can go to your constituency office and register as a voter. And this will continue. They'll have the enhanced registration exercise sometime later, they'll announce. But this one is you go to your constituency office, or from next week, you go to a Huduma Center and say, I want to register as a voter. Here I come with my staff. And Anne will be telling us what I need to go with to the registration exercise. But from here, you're going to Mashuru, where you're going to launch this.
Yes.
So it's a busy day for you.
It's very busy.
I know the way you start your days, you start your days with, packing the stomach. Unajaza tumbo kwanza. What do you have? Do you have light breakfast or do you have heavy breakfast?
I have good breakfast. A meal breakfast.
Heavy light? No, good breakfast.
Good breakfast.
Good breakfast. Let me tell you something that's good breakfast.
Yes.
Unga ya Lea. Lea Premium. Lea Premium, there's maize flour and there's wheat flour. Okay? With that unga, it is fortified. That means it's really, really good. And it is premium, which means the way it's been done,
I know, locally sourced, which is always something that, we push for. We are but hapo kwa premium. That's where I am. I hear that word, it's a seller for me.
Right.
Because it means whatever I'm getting is not only good for me, but it's good. It's good quality. So I love that.
You and me on the fortified.
Yes.
Because until we had a conversation here about why fortifying food is important,
Yep.
I didn't know. Nilikuwa nasoma tu, fortified flour, fortified. But the way we grow our food sometimes right now does not leave it with enough nutrients. So it's good to know that you're taking in something that is nutrient rich. Someone has taken the time, the people at Lea have taken the time to see what vitamins do you require typically when you're consuming maize flour. Aya, tumekuwekea hapo. So, and kama wewe ni mtu wa ugali asubuhi, tumekupatia hapo unga wa Lea.
That is good breakfast.
It's a good breakfast.
That is good breakfast. Tutatumana ikuje by the way, your unga.
Thank you.
Ndio ukianza kesho asubuhi.
I think I need to move with the pack from here.
Yes.
Yes. First of all, this conversation has made me hungry. Tena hapo kwa consistency, because it also talks about consistent results with the product, because it can be very frustrating when one day you have a good one, the next day Nikunoma. We're coming back to the conversation, but I know there's some people online. Plano is saying, good morning, Fixers. Kindly ask if there are plans to enable one to change from their old polling station online to avoid traveling to their new one physically. I think Ant alluded to it.
Yes.
Yeah, already. Direct registration with IEBC is important because, Bakari is basically saying, politicians control NRB data and it's risky for voter profiling or manipulation.
Do politicians control national registration?
Unless he's talking
I doubt, because that is a government department. It's a civil service program. I don't think politicians control the issue of the data.
Maybe he means anecdotally.
Even anecdotally. I mean, there's a lot of distrust in government.
That's true.
But it does, it cuts across.
Really, I don't think we really want to cast any aspersions on our national data, because that is citizen data.
Right.
So really, that is a credible source of information.
I'll be honest, and your biggest fight will not be with tech or with polling stations or with HR. It'll be with public perception of IEBC, right? And we'll speak a little more, a bit more into how we're working on that. I know we've listened to several people from the IEBC talk about it. I know it's a big fight as well. But looking at technology and how it's moved over time, we were discussing this earlier, what the BVR kits used to look like versus what the registration kits looks like right now. Tell us why this was necessary. Because again, from that public perception point of view, it could be, sasa wametongeza expense ingine, wameleta kit mpya, may cost how much? Tell us why we needed to move. We'll have a look at Roy, who is an ICT officer at the IEBC in just a minute. He'll walk us through the old and the new, but why was it necessary?
Number one, over time, technology became obsolete. And BVL kit have been there for some time. Over time, that technology keep on changing. So we needed a fresh way of looking at issues, and because the BVL kit, of course, slowed, completely slowed. Majority of them turned blue skin and blue screen, and therefore they needed replacement. But we could now not replace with the same because technology had progressed. So we had to look for a new way of doing that. Looking at BVL kit, as we are going to see, it's cumbersome. You can see the whole box, a registration officer carrying it from one place to another. It means it was very cumbersome. The storage part of it was also very cumbersome. You have to get so many warehouses to store these kind of boxes, as opposed to the tablet that we are going to see. So you're also looking for convenience, you are looking for efficiency, you are looking for the latest way of doing things so that you are able to process data as much as possible. It's more efficient, the new technology is more efficient, it's more effective, and it is not cumbersome in terms of carrying around and all that. So we are looking at also improving
the whole thing. So the ICT guy, Roy Lokale, is here. Roy, we are seeing this whole suitcase that you've come here with. What is in that suitcase?
You're not going to call it a briefcase. You call it a suitcase.
It's a suitcase. It's not brief. It's huge.
There's nothing brief about it.
Roy, what's that?
50 kgs is a suitcase.
Yeah,
like Madam Commissioner Ann had mentioned, this is the BVR kit, biometric voter registration kit. And right here we have several gadgets inside the kit. For a start, we have a laptop. This is what is used to enter the data that we have. We have the fingerprint scanner. Here it is.
Any fingerprint?
Yes, it is.
The one for this.
And then, as a power source, we used to equip these BVR kits with 2 of these batteries. Yes. And
so these look like weights.
What else? So there's a scanner, there's
a
batteries.
Scanner, there's a battery, there's a camera.
A camera is a separate unit.
Yes, it is from the laptop.
And then now the laptop,
as you can see, the laptop back then did not have the feature, the camera feature. So we had to install the camera separately from it.
When did you last use these gadgets?
These gadgets were introduced in 2012 for the 2013 elections. Then by then they registered 14 million voters for the 2013 elections. And then they continued to work up to the 2022 elections, where we registered over 22 million voters with these gadgets. So everybody right now that is in the register
use the big thing.
Use the BVR.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So we've moved from that big thing to what? To now a laptop.
So we moved from all these.
Laptops now have battery.
We moved from all these to this one. So all that has been reduced to the tablet. Yes. As Madam Commissioner mentioned earlier, IBC is trying to improve on our services and our technology. And this is a first evidence of what we are doing as a commission to improve on our service delivery to Mwananchi. So as you can see this tablet here.
Maybe point it towards this camera here, 7. Yes.
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 As we can see the camera here, the fingerprint scanner that was here has been moved here. This is what we have as the fingerprint scanner. And the camera that we had installed separately, we have cameras here and here. This is both for photograph and iris scanning. Yes.
Both for taking a photo and for scanning your iris.
Yes, and including scanning your ID.
Okay.
Yes, as we will see.
Okay.
So must you do both? Must you capture my fingerprint and my iris? Or is it one or?
These are biometric identifiers, and we keep on improving our security features. With this one, we only added the face and the fingerprints. So now, just to improve on that one, to build up on that one, we have added the iris as the third layer of security, or as an identifier.
Okay, so it will be compulsory to do all three.
Yes.
How many of these do you have? How many of the gadgets does
This
iris?
one?
Yep.
Let me mention that these gadgets are not new. These are the gadgets that we used in the 2022 election. So what we have is just we have incorporated the system, the voter registration system, and moved it to the tablet. So that means there's enough for every polling station or every registration center.
Okay.
Say again, in 2022, this is what we're using to identify the voter.
This is the gadget that we used. And at that point, the system was called
EVID.
EVID. Yes.
Electronic Voter Identification Device.
Yes.
So this is it.
This is the
So now the voter identification device is also now being used for voter registration.
Yes, as we mentioned, the systems in the commission wants to integrate. That is why it's called Kenya Integrated Electoral Management Systems. So we are putting all our systems together in one place. So whereby this gadget can do registration, it can do voter identification, and also also transmission of results.
Okay.
Eventually, yes.
Okay. So let me get this right. Before 2022 elections, people were registering with this big box BVR kit.
Yes.
But at the polling station at voting time,
Yes.
they were being identified with this smaller
this one.
EVID.
Yes.
Okay. Now we're doing it all on this one.
On the gadget.
Including transmitting results.
Results,
Walk
yes.
us through that
Yeah.
part.
Yes. As you can see, the electoral cycle, the first step for you as a voter is registering as a voter, right? And this is where now the voter registration system comes on board. Upon registration, the next level for you is at the polling station, right? And now we have a different system called the EVID for voter identification, which will identify you as a voter. You go ahead and vote, and then after the voting, the results from the polling station will be transmitted with the gadget. There's a different system for transmission of data. So we have integrated different systems into one gadget.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So this time, I'm still wanting to come back to the issue of the amount of detail that you're capturing for a voter at registration. What do I need to come with to a voter registration clerk?
For you, at the registration center, all we ask is there are two identification documents. That's the national ID and a valid passport. That is what
Either.
Or
It's either.
yes.
Yeah, it's not both of them.
Yes.
It's either.
So either a passport or an ID.
Or an
Yeah,
ID.
yeah.
A valid passport or an ID.
Okay. Once I come in there, is this connected to the National Registration Bureau so that I don't come with a fake document and I'm able to register? Or will that now happen afterwards, that you're able then to clean up the voter register?
There's a different system for cleaning up the details you've captured.
Okay.
And that is now the second level. After I've captured your details, we send it to a system called IDMS, Identity Management System, and that is now what cleans up the register. It checks whether you had registered previously, whether we did anything flagged out from your details. If everything is okay.
And Alatif, it's also good to note, before using the BVL, you used to key in data. He asked you to fill a Form A, you just fill your data,
Right.
and then a registration officer will just key in your data on a laptop.
Yeah.
But this one, you are scanning the ID, and the scanning of ID directly relates to the database where the ID is coming from. because as you're going to demonstrate, you are now lifting data from the ID. That one does two things. First of all, it's more authentic. Secondly, it removes transpositional errors, where somebody can type wrong names and all that. Yeah, so because you are capturing, once you scan
Miriam instead of Mariam. And then I come to vote and they're telling me it's not me.
That's another major improvement, because now we are capturing ID data as it is. So we don't have to now make an error in terms of how you're entering data.
Okay.
I'm thinking through, sorry, Eric. I was just thinking, okay, I have ID or valid passport. Nimepoteza ID. Niko na OB lakini nimechukua OB, ama niko na waiting card. I'm just turned 18, wamenipea card. Do they still give waiting cards? I'm not even sure. But yes, what happens in the event of those situations where lost my ID, I've got an OB that says, no, oh, you lost ID number, this.
Imagine you have to turn up with an ID. You have to
Ngoje ID it's okay.
It's okay,
Hopefully. It's a continuous exercise.
It's a continuous exercise.
It doesn't close tomorrow.
Doesn't close tomorrow. Just make sure that you get your ID.
Wow.
And also take care of your ID also.
Things happen. Madam Commissioner. Same thing will be accessed by people in the diaspora, right? The same system? For those in the diaspora.
By the way, this time we are not registering this particular continuous voter registration. We are not registering persons in the diaspora, but we shall make arrangement, and the same system will be used for them. It will be done across
to take them across.
Kenyans.
Okay. So the other bit that I was asking, and Commissioner, you can respond. I know Roy is going to have someone who will he'll walk through a Gen Z, walk the Gen Z through. I have never voted. I do not know this voter registration story. He'll walk him through. But now you are capturing a lot more biometric data. You're capturing fingerprint, you're capturing iris, face and iris. At the point of voting, on the day of voting, must I bring all three? Must I bring my face, my eye, and my ID?
Yeah, you must bring all of them. But should one fail, that's why we are capturing as many. Because you see, it's possible when you appear, your figures are shared a bit. Then they are not able to respond. You are able to do face recognition, and iris can save, because that's why we must have the multiple biometrics, so that in case one fail, we have no problem. But you must bring all of them, unless you in a special case where
come in person. Basically, that's what
that's what we are saying. You must appear. You must appear, and then we are safeguarding you from any data identity theft and all that, because it must be you.
A little off topic, just Janu, before you go, but on the question of diaspora voters, you mentioned for this round they won't be included in the continuous voter registration.
Yes.
Is there any particular reason? And then is there also a push to have more polling centers in whether it's embassies, etc.? We spoke to members of the diaspora community, and they felt that if I live, for example, in the US and there's 50 states, and I don't know, there was how many polling stations? 20. There was very few. So that means they have to drive days or take a flight to get to their nearest polling center.
We are considering adding more polling stations within the countries that we have already established as areas that we are focusing on registration and voting. But we're also adding more countries. We're also moving. We are currently in about 12 countries. We are going to add more of those countries, so that we are able to capture as many Kenyans as possible. But even within the existing countries, we shall also establish more polling stations. Beyond being in the embassy, we shall go more wider.
Ground.
I promise you, Commissioner, we shall call you here and have the diaspora call in and express their frustration with the Commission. Because we've had these conversations with diaspora people, and they say, come on, I mean, one country like America, and you only have like 3 places where I can register and 3 places to vote. That is...
It locks out a lot of people.
Europe, you can only go to certain places where you're crossing borders as well. It locks out very many people. That
so,
would be a day we call you
maybe,
for that.
I think we do. And we have also had an engagement with them in terms of telling them what we are intending to do. Part of what IBC is toying around with is early voting, and try to see how can we have a system of early voting that is able also to capture people in in the diaspora and all that. Can technology be used? Those are the questions we're asking ourselves. Can we test some technology when it comes to diaspora voting and all that?
All right.
Those are questions that we are grappling with as a commission.
Now
and
we
shall
yes.
keep educating Kenyans as we go along.
It's important, and I think this has been very helpful. We can go into the demonstration now. Rochelle, the Gen Z, is ready with Roy. So maybe, Roy, you can walk us through the exercise.
Yes.
He's
so,
presenting.
when an applicant walks in, the first thing you do is your request for their identification details, and in this case, to verify that Merosi, that is in the ID, is the Merosi that has presented the card. Yes. And then as an IEBC officer, the first thing I'm supposed to do is to check whether Merosi is a registered voter or not. Yes, before I start registering him. And how do I do that? That is by scanning the MRZ code behind the ID.
Okay.
Yes.
So you just use that same gadget?
Yes, same gadget.
You scan?
To scan. And to check whether he is. But at this point, he is not. But if any one of you has an ID that...
So is it automatic?
To?
Like it tells you immediately that this person is registered or not?
Yes, it pops up the details.
Okay.
Yes, if they are registered. Yes. Now that you have established that they are not registered, we go back and register him. Like Madam Commissioner had mentioned earlier, we are not entering the details, the names, the date of birth, the ID card physically like we used to, so that we reduce the keystroke errors that we have witnessed before. So we also scan the MRZ again to pick the details on his ID.
Okay.
And like we see, it's already popped up. We have ID number and the serial number, his gender, date of birth, names, all already populated in the system.
Allah.
Yes.
Okay. And then that's it?
No. That is what we've done is we have only captured personal information. Now we'll go to other levels of the details. So we pick. Are you able to read? Yes.
So you'll be asked whether you're able to read?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and also if you have special needs, and also if you will need assistance during voting, and we will put it down there for our logistical reasons, and also to assist you better when you come next. Yes. So he said he does not need any assistance voting, and he can read and does not have any special needs.
Okay.
Okay.
So once you fill out all those details...
So after you pick the personal information, the next level is he identifies the polling station that he wants, or the ward.
Sasa hapo ndio kizungumkuti.
So,
polling station.
Jenzi unajua ward yako?
Yes.
So can we work backwards? Come on, Adra. The nearest primary school.
Primary school, yes.
And the wards are all listed.
Yes, the wards actually pre-listed. They do not mention. So if you tell me you come from this ward, I pick the ward. It's the municipality.
Okay.
That is it. For this gadget, we are picked as a returning officer for North Imenti.
Okay.
Yes, and the polling stations.
Yeah, all listed there.
Yeah, all listed. He has chosen. He has picked
closest
Forest Camp. Is that
okay?
Yes. And then now, after you've captured the polling details, we go now to the identifiers. That's the fingerprint, the pictures, and the iris.
Okay.
Yes.
How long should this take? How long should one person take in this exercise?
A maximum of 10 minutes.
Maximum 10?
10 minutes.
Okay.
Yes, between 5 and 10 minutes per person.
Commissioner,
So
are you
you
satisfied?
enter.
That is a good time.
One, if that's why we are pushing for pre-registration. so that you come when you have captured already your data, the data that we are talking about. But majority, especially the young people, take like 5 minutes because the older people are the one who take maybe 10 minutes because maybe the person does not know how to read and write. You also have to ask the questions and to understand this person from where he's coming from. But I think with 5 minutes, for majority of the people, I think that's okay.
It's sufficient.
It should be able to. And then this system is faster. It's picking the fingerprint faster than the BVR. Remember the BVR, sometimes you put the fingerprints, they don't reflect and all that. This one, because you are taking figure by figure.
Yes.
Every figure by figure, is picking the data faster.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's leave it there for now. This was very helpful.
Yeah.
I hope people have heard. I hope people will show up. Thank you very much to Madam Commissioner and to Roy as well, who is right back there still continuing the exercise. We have to do part 2 and 3. In fact, we'll thread this throughout.
Yeah.
We have to go to the ground and see people actually registering.
Yes. But you have not invited Kenyans for by-elections. Yeah, we have by-elections, 24 of them, on the 27th of November. So it's good for those people in the by-election areas to turn out and vote for their favorite.
Thank you so much. It's 8 a.m. We have Kabala Kile in the next hour, in just a few moments, talking about National Deputy Chairperson, PLP, why Martha Karua is seeking one-term presidency. What does that mean? He'll let us know in just a few moments. We'll be right back.